Butters. It's getting dark in here. There, that's better. Okay, now we can get back to work, Butters. Well, my research explored several avenues, not yielding the result I had hoped. First, seeing what I could find with connections between earworms, I created a survey. Using the course's text, I created the survey and put it on social media. Although 100% of the respondents experienced earworms and filled out my survey, only 8 persons took this survey. Modifying my approach, I did some more research. What I did find out was a lot more about earworms. Then I stumbled upon literature describing how some key attributes of earworms relate to something called sonic branding. Sonic branding, I found, are 4 new branding emblems that appear to mimic some of the musical qualities of what are called auditory images, or earworms. Continuing my search, I found that there were very many articles about music and advertising, but I wanted to find out how it was used and practiced in the advertising world, and I had questions. Specifically, how advertisers felt about music and advertising. Is it passé? Is it something that they use well? How do they currently feel about jingles? Are they old school or passé? As a student, I studied marketing strategies, selling techniques, advertising science, and clearly all subjects consistently communicate that tapping into a consumer's emotions is important to successful branding, and how important it is to recognize how we may influence and define consumer behavior. With music being a valid, proven way to influence the emotions of people and the memory of the general population, I dug in a little bit deeper and did some research into the history of music's use in advertising. Music has been an important stimulus for centuries. Market traders have known that you can't sell to somebody over there. They need to be here. The trick is to get them here. For traders, the solution is well established. You shout. Music's equivalent to shouting is fanfare. Royalty is the greatest proponent of this. A fanfare says, "I am here. Get out of the way, stand up, and listen." These days we call them idents, stings or sonic triggers, and sometimes logos, but they're all fanfares. The donut jingle singing in the front and end with a hole in the middle. Plus one on the end for good measure. Doesn't that look good, Butters? From here, we see an association between music and characteristic information that comes from opera. Music's history and how it became a part of advertising leads us to a famed composer, Richard Wagner. According to historians, Wagner was the first known person to truly popularize the power of the miniature musical motif, using more than 100 of them in his vast operatic ring cycle to identify characters, plots, and objects. This impact was not lost upon musicians as they became aware of music's strong control of their audience. So not long after Wagner, the modern jingle was born in New York City. When the makers of a pest control product called Rough on Rats commissioned sheet music to promote their miracle cure. These lyrics don't adhere to modern advertising conventions. However, it's a rather catchy tune, rats, rough on rats, hang your dogs, and hang your cats. We give them a plan for every man to clear his house with rough on rats. That's okay, Butters, don't you worry. I would never get rid of you. So essentially, my research has shown that Wagner and rough on rats are the forebearers of the ring cycle, or as we commonly are familiar with Nokia's ringtone, Intel's 4-note bongs, and ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Loving it. And reading about atmospherics in the retail setting in our coursework, I was certain that my journey out to the retail world would prove exciting and provide me with some excellent examples. Understanding the concept of ambient environments, oral branding, and auditory imaging music as a powerful tool for assisting brands and merchants with influencing their customers, I set out to explore my environments. Bye, Butters! While I was out, I explored several, reflecting on the literature that I've read and the numerous influences on consumer behavior from using music in the retail context. While I was there, I listened to the music and I found it was surprising. As I left the store excited to go home and in anticipation of writing this report, I started to think about some other areas that I could explore besides the retail and brick and mortar stores. I thought about exploring TV, radio, and e-commerce. I thought about how shopping cart abandonment and other aspects that retailers face today could all be improved if we took some time and broke it down and did more research and discovery. Newly empowered, I felt as though I had the world in my hands. And as soon as I turned on the light, I put pen to hand and begun the project and the rest of the research.